Oh, I didn't play the product. Okay, no problem. Part 2 of our lesson, the position of strategic marketing in strategic management. So strategic marketing is a part of strategic management. So it's not different from another strategic system in the company. And every company have mission. The mission describes the company reason for existing. In order to achieve the mission, the company creates broad strategies that define how it can be best use its resources to achieve this mission. So the strategist is about using resources to make this mission real. And at a company level, executive creates specific, measurable goals to determine where the company is making progress in executing the strategy. This time-based goals is called objective. So you can find out it here. I will try. Okay, where is camera? Okay, objectives. Okay. So, and a strategy as a plan. For example, it's can be a long-term plan when the course for the next few years, and it is determined annually. And it is refined talking into new factors and tendency. So it's only a plan that can be changed during the execution. And before making this plan, you must understand where is your position in the market. So where are you just right now? And strategy determined the position of the organization relative to its competitors. And it's also a strategy. And strategy can be as a trick. So what's the meaning of this purpose? We do it this way, and we don't intend to do this otherwise. So it's our strategy. And also strategy is a perspective. The principle and the path that the company chooses to grow up, or they can choose it. And finally, strategy as a pattern, a framework, a pattern. Okay, you can choose the term you better prefer to. Pattern by which the company operates depending on the situation. So it's about risks, it's about making profit, it's about sales. Everything will be included in strategy as a pattern. So where is the marketing here? The marketing function also defined a strategy that supports a corporate level objectives. A corporate level objective, so not brand, not product, not price, not placement, but corporate level. Marketing must really understand the target customer and identify the right mix of product, price, pricing, and distribution strategies. So one strategy for strategy that will provide unique value to the customer. So we already talked about that. The value to the customer. So the marketing produces the value to the customer. Marketing also creates measurable objectives that show whether is executing the strategy well, and whereas maybe some weak points, and hitting the targets that support the corporate level objectives. Then marketing performs specific tasks using tactics, as we already mentioned, to execute the strategy and achieve the objectives. Okay, nothing new as a corporate strategist, everything works in market well. So This is a place of marketing in corporate strategy. So you'll have a corporate mission, a situational analysis, so internal and external factors. You have a corporate strategy, and a marketing strategy is a part of a corporate strategy. So you must understand that marketing maybe the first stage or maybe the second, but it's all in big companies. It's always exists on a high level, corporate level, and it contains many tactics inside and influence on many strategy points and objectives. So, talking about some differences between purposes and the agenda of marketing between large companies and small businesses. Can anybody tell me the differences between large companies' agenda to marketing and what's the difference to then small businesses do? Any ideas?
Well, I guess that large companies, they more insist on brand recognition and they try to appeal to the more audience as possible. And while small businesses, they tend to create more like communities and people who will come only to them, and they more appeal to loyalty, like building their marketing strategy. I think that's the main difference.
Okay, so yes, that's true, and that it's not all. Any other variants?
Well, I agree with Yegor. I think that small businesses try to make connections, as you mentioned, like personal connections between their customers and their businesses, while large companies try to be more famous, like to make their brand bigger and more brand recognition than connections.
Yes, you're right. So the right word was picked. So they have different priorities. The market priorities of enterprise looks something like this. So the first priority is pleasing the board of directors. So just imagine pleasing the boards of directors. So it's marketing priority. Then appeasing shareholders, satisfying superficial biases, satisfying existing clients' preconception. Then, okay, winning advertising and creating awards. So it's all about something winning, okay, and maybe some ratings. Getting buy-in from various committees and stakeholders. Okay, it's all about reputation, no problem. And finally, on the last place of this agenda stands making a profit. So every company, every business is made for making a profit. Okay, even non-profit companies must earn some money resources just to be alive, just to help people, because this works in this way. And in large companies, so at first place, okay, pleasing the directors, so shareholders, okay, then okay, pleasing some VIP customers, and only at last position, making a profit. And how looks like the marketing priorities of a small business owner? Simple, making a profit. That because they use direct marketing strategy and communicate with the customer directly. So large companies do this in another way because they have a very different budget. And strategy check. Okay, as I already mentioned, I have free account of Zoom, so sorry for some inconvenience. And okay, Waiting for all. Oh, okay. So, as I can see, so I'm not the one and the only of the teachers that use free version of Zoom. So you know how to use the links repeatedly. It's good. Sorry for some inconvenient problems, but okay. As already, okay, 2 person. Oh, I think that's all. Okay. As I already mentioned, strategy change with scale. With scale of your money, of your budget, and it is very important to understand that money makes sense. And it really makes sense in marketing and in marketing strategy, even in planning stages. So how do you think someone investing in building and developing skyscrapers has a different property investment than the average small property investor? Okay, no variance, but I already answered this question 2 minutes ago, so it was just a little check about sound and how you can hear me. Of course, they have different strategies. Using the same strategy, as already mentioned, simply won't work on a small scale, because when you build a skyscraper, you must build not one floor, but even 100 or more floors, and you can just build one floor on a scraper and have a success. You need all 100 stories success, so all stages. How it connected to marketing? It's connected in this way. If you have an advertising budget of $10 million or $10 billion and for a year to get profitable result, then you're going to use a very different strategy compared to someone needing to make profit immediately with $10,000 budget. So 10 million, 10,000. Using a large company marketing strategy, you can spend your 10,000 and it will be like a drop in an ocean. And it will be totally wasted and ineffective because you're using the wrong strategy for the scale that you're operating at. And that's because, first of all, you must understand what's the scale and what your budget. So before just thinking about strategy, before thinking about how you can use marketing in a proper way and how you can really care about these companies. Okay, so we'll be back to our cases right now. But before we will back and talk about them more properly, do you have any question about last 40 minutes, and do you need a little break, or we can continue without break and maybe end a little bit early?
I think we can continue and finish earlier.
Yes.
Okay. So the decision is done. Okay, talking about our cases. What will be your task? During the semester, I will lead you through the way of making some marketing plan, marketing strategy. I will try to do my best to make this way as simple as possible. So the real marketing plan and marketing strategy is a real big book with some briefs containing not only the strategy, but targeting, position, pricing, budgeting, risks, analytics, and so on, so on, so on. I will try to do my best for you not to be scared about marketing and strategy. And of course, why this study makes sense. As I already mentioned, marketing is everywhere, so I'm PhD in philology, so it doesn't matter, and also have a magister in techniques field. So, but marketing, it's some tools, some strategies, some tactics, how you positioning yourself in the real world. There is a good example. In 2006, there was a social experiment. One of the famous, not the one, the famous, the most famous violin player in the world, play for 1 hour in New York subway using Stradivari violin. On the time of the experiment, the cost of this violin was $3.5 million. So this musician play for 1 hour in New York subway with this violin that cost $3.5 billion. And can someone imagine how much money did he earn for the tower? Any ideas?
Probably not much, especially due to the fact that it is a subway. Maybe, I don't know, $300 maximum. Probably.
Okay, good variant. Any other opinion?
I also would agree with Violet. I think it's not that much, maybe $100.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other variants? So we will
Maybe
write down.
$100.
So sorry, repeat please.
Like $100 or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I will give you a correct answer. Here only this amount per an hour. Why the story makes sense and it's really important? Because in a few hours he play in Carnegie Hall and just earn for 1 hour of his play. This money. So it's only about positioning and right target market. Because sometimes we will talk about the things later. You choose the wrong audience, you choose the wrong tool, and you choose the wrong performance tasks. So, and your mission must be connected with your target audience. Targeting is a really hard field of science, and it's changeable because many new factors come into play, like COVID-19. I know that everybody simply tired about this, but okay, it's one of the risks and one of the reasons that targeting may change, and really your audience may change in a moment. So you will think about the study, and in our cases, you must really carefully define the audience. For this startup, you will get all links, and maybe more simple will be this situation with government servant and private brands. It depends. It depends on the audience. It depends on your skills. But how do you think? What case will be more difficult, one to another, and why, of course?
You mean we have like two variants? First one is a startup company, and another one is like governmental, like
Yes.
control. Okay. For me, I think that probably the second case is more difficult, because in this kind of situation, we have to be responsible not only in front of the company, but also in front of governmental authorities. And that brings other, like a set of other responsibilities. And sometimes we might not meet the expectations of these authorities. And probably that's why the company maybe also, like, I don't know, go bankrupt or something in the end.
Okay. Good opinion. Any other? Just imagine that you're a marketer or a communication specialist in this company. So third things that come into your mind when you think about some non-profit association or government servants, and what problem do they have with their brands, with their company, with their marketing and position, and of course communication with the customer. Is there any?
Well, I could only like suggest one idea, that maybe working with like as a government servant with such a project that concerns these governmental issues, it might be easier to denote the aim, the specific aim, the specific audience, like target audience, and the tools to be used. Because when we're speaking about like the startup, there's like usually a wide range of people that we can like engage, we can make them engage in the activities we want to deliver, and so on and so forth. So maybe it would be more like, yeah, like specific, particular when we're speaking about some governmental activity.
Yes, good reason. Okay. So all of you are right. It's really so every case have its difficulties, but I can tell you that in this situation, the government servant is not so hard case, and you'll see why after receiving the links. Your customer will be me, so I have some links with both of these cases that you already understand. So it's real companies, it's real servants. So I will bring the information to board of directors of these companies, of course, and they will make a decision about, okay, where are some weak points, where are some strong points of your projects. This strategy is already exists for these cases, and they in the process of execution, of course. And so, okay, I'll tell you that we can come to the end a little bit early. So I will try to finalize our first study. I don't want you to be scared about our study, so I will try to make it as much easier as possible. And if you can give me a little feedback before the end of this session, how was our meeting? Maybe some negative feedback, it's okay. Don't be scared.
Well, I don't have any negative feedback. I just want to say that it was very visual, that it's good that we can see all the definitions and all the important information. So I really like this aspect.
Okay, so the format was good.
That will be interesting to dig into details.
I understand, but that is something about, how to say, a strategy of a little steps. So, like a little prince on his planet, I have all information, and you will get almost every lesson in open and as an open material when you came to Canvas. And I understand that somebody and someone won't just read every material. And okay, I know everything. I don't know why I need to attend the classes. Okay, no problem. There will be no grades for home tasks, so it's will be all about command work. So you will be divided in some commands and work on these cases in command. I really oblige you to make a good and strong comments. You will see that some roles are simplified. And in a process, you'll define some specific roles that you need in your progress and for your progress and for your tasks and for your project. And okay, as I suggest to our end, that is all for today. Thank you for your feedback. I will be waiting for our next classes. As already mentioned, 1 or 2 hours, check your email, your educational email, of course. And See you in our courses, and next time. Have a nice evening and be ready.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. See you.
So yeah.